Now at 10, a decision following Neosho's lawsuit against Newton County over TIF money. Plus,
the future of the police department in Goodman, Missouri is uncertain. I spoke with Mayor-elect Bunch about how the city is managing safety. I'm Amber Jenkins with the story.
And Missouri Southern takes on Central Missouri. We'll have the highlights in sports.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Big decision today in a lawsuit Neosho filed against Newton County. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. It's from a 2021 lawsuit where Neosho said the county withheld the city's TIF money. The judge ruled in favor of Neosho. The court says the county must pay interest to the city for the tax amounts it mishandled. Neosho established a TIF in 1999 to help the city fund improvement projects within the district. Documents showed the last payment the city received from the county was in September of 2015 for just over $24,000. A trial is scheduled for June to determine how much taxes and interest Neosho will get. The Goodman, Missouri mayor-elect is speaking out today about the resignation of the entire police force this week. Officers said they were leaving the job after Goodman voters chose a new mayor on Tuesday. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has the latest.
The former Goodman police chief, Adam Miller, says his entire department resigned because they believe Mayor-elect John Bunch is anti-law enforcement. But Bunch says that's not the case.
I'm not against law enforcement. What I expect, though, is if you're being paid and you know what the job paid when you took it, do the job. And if you think that you can't afford to do the job, you need to move on.
KOAM spoke to the outgoing mayor, J.R. Fisher, when the police department announced their resignation.
Once that comes out, we have no police department. Well, I'm afraid the drug dealer stuff like that's going to have a new headquarters.
It was rather unfortunate that they broadcast that there would be no law enforcement in Goodman for 2 weeks, but that's not true. So we're not a wide open Wild West town yet.
There's still a police presence in Goodman. As of now, McDonald County Sheriff's Office is responding to calls, and the State Highway Patrol will start patrolling the community.
We do have coverage, not full-time coverage right now, but Dirk Deaton also called. He is our state representative for this area, and he has requested that the Highway Patrol also make tours through this area.
Bunch will be sworn in as mayor on April 18th. He says he's eager to put Goodman back on the right track.
There's already mechanisms in place that we are prepared to reestablish our police department, and know when you have a police department that walks off the way they did, I have no desire to bring those same people back. When you need them the worst is when you expect them to be there.
Reporting in Goodman, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
John Bunch previously served as the mayor of Goodman in the 1980s. Meteorologist Sam Lane joins us now with a first look at the weather.
And it's a beautiful look at the weather. We've had great conditions today with lots of blue skies, warm temperatures, and no precipitation. Radar is pretty much all clear. We're picking up a little bit of moisture out there, but that's about it. All the cloudiness and rain is down across eastern Texas this evening. We're just getting a few of the clouds moving up from the south. We are watching a storm system developing over the deserts of the southwest. That will start to move into our area as we go into the latter part of the weekend, but tomorrow looks great. Sunny Saturday, sunny on Sunday morning, but then the clouds roll in later on in the day with some showers, and then scattered storms on Monday. And of course, I'll have all the details on your forecast when we come back in just a bit.
See you soon. The city of Neosho, Missouri is receiving 2 grants to help with flooding issues. The grants will help with 2 projects. One is the school branch project. It'll cost $2.7 million, which comes from a community development block grant. This project will help redo the drainage systems in the area, adding large box culverts to help control stormwater. The second project is the hatchery branch. It'll cost $6.9 million and was funded by the American Recovery Act.
There's pluses and minuses to it. Some people are going to have to help us out with right-of-ways and things like that. So that's part of the negative part of it. But the people who've taken the brunt of the flooding and damage from flooding are happy to see us moving forward with some of these projects.
The projects are estimated to start this year. A Pitt State professor wants to help university students in Africa by shipping textbooks to 2 African nations. Dr. Han Hee Lee is providing 600 pounds of books to African students collected from a book drive on campus. Lee says a missionary from Africa told him the biggest need is for business professors and textbooks. The community came together to help Lee donate and to move all those boxes full of books.
Business books or business with technologies, and theology books, and some science books. We have just big categories, and I try to meet all those needs there.
Books from Pitt State were shipped to a church in San Jose, California today and will be shipped to Africa at the end of the month. The Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services has some safety reminders for people who will celebrate Easter with real eggs this weekend. One tip: when coloring eggs, hard boil them, then dye them, then put them in the fridge within 2 hours. Wash your hands before and after coloring the eggs. If you plan to eat them, make sure you use food-safe dye and do not eat eggs that have been hidden for more than 2 hours. Coming up, an update on a proposal for a new state park in southeast Kansas. Plus, 2 expelled Tennessee lawmakers find support from the nation's capital. We'll have the latest on the aftermath. Kansas lawmakers have approved a plan to designate hundreds of acres in Allen County a state park. The 360 acres, known as the Lehigh property, includes a lake, a cave, more than 14 miles of existing trails. The group Thrive Allen County and hundreds of community members had voiced support for the proposal. Plans for the state park include a visitors center, RV hookups, floating cabins, and primitive campsites. The designation now goes to the governor's desk. Abortion opponents in Kansas score another victory with a bill passed today by state lawmakers. The bill would require abortion providers to tell patients that a medication abortion can be reversed once it's started. It could face a state court challenge if its supporters can overcome the governor's expected veto. Republican lawmakers pursued the bill, even though some experts dispute abortion opponents' claims about medication abortions. Doctors argue the measure defies a decisive statewide vote in August affirming abortion rights. Democratic Governor Laura Kelly vetoed a similar measure in 2019. Kansas lawmakers also approved a plan today to end gender-affirming care for transgender youth. Caps off a week of intensifying efforts to roll back LGBTQ rights. The House voted 70 to 52 to require the state's medical board to revoke the licenses of doctors who provide gender-affirming care to minors. The Senate then voted 23 to 12 to approve that measure, sending it to Governor Kelly. She is expected to veto it. Kansas lawmakers approved a bill yesterday aimed at helping parents opt their children out of public school lessons with LGBTQ-themed materials. The House voted 76 to 46 to approve a parental rights measure that would allow a parent to place their child in an alternative to a public K-12 school lesson or activity that impairs the parent's sincerely held beliefs, values, or principles. That also goes next to Governor Kelly. Vice President Kamala Harris joined a rally in Nashville for the 3 Tennessee Democrats who've been targeted by the Republican supermajority. President Biden has invited them to the White House. Reporter Mark Strassman has the latest.
Round of applause for the awesome Justin Jones and Justin Pearson.
The newly expelled Tennessee lawmakers are being hailed by many as heroes in Nashville, one day after being ousted from the state legislature for demanding action on gun control.
We need you.
Vice President Kamala Harris flew down from Washington to support the so-called Tennessee 3 and said the actions by the Republican supermajority were shameful.
A democracy says you don't silence the people. You do not stifle the people. You don't turn off their microphones when they are speaking about the importance of life and liberty.
Republicans expelled Democrats Justin Pearson and Justin Jones for disrupting a legislative session with their fellow Democrat, Representative Gloria Johnson.
No action, no peace.
The 3 were demanding stricter gun control laws in the wake of another school shooting.
Mutiny on the House floor.
The expulsion drew immediate outrage from many watching. Johnson, a former teacher who experienced a school shooting in 2008, avoided removal by just one vote.
It might have to do with the color of our skin.
Republicans deny that. Jones will likely be back in the chamber room soon. Nashville's council chooses an interim replacement on Monday, and a majority of them have signaled they intend to appoint Jones. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Nashville.
Tennessee's Constitution prevents lawmakers from being expelled for the same offense twice. After a special appointment fills the seats, there will be a special election, and Jones and Pearson could both run again for the offices. We have a late breaking story tonight. OU, the University of Oklahoma, is reporting possible shots fired on the oval there. There have been a number of police responses to this report. We will let you know if we get further updates before the end of this broadcast. A little bit later, the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons are in Fort Scott today playing in the Adam LaRoche tournament. We'll have the highlights.
And we had a beautiful day across the area. Is it going to last through the holiday weekend? Well, I'll have the answer when we come back. We have started off the weekend just right with lots of sunshine and clear blue skies and warm temperatures. A beautiful day across the area, and it's continuing into this evening. Right now, let's take a look outside at Seneca, Missouri at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. A very nice night. You can even see the planet Venus right there between the two buildings off towards the west and southwest. Allergies, though, they've been a problem, and they were again today 10.6 out of a scale of 10 or 0 to 12. Tomorrow, about the same thing, 10.6, so the allergies are going to be with us probably right on through the weekend. Radar is clear right now, nothing really showing up except some moisture. We do have some moisture across eastern Texas associated with the wave moving across that state, but we're watching another system back towards the south and west, now moving into southern Arizona, and then another piece of energy behind that. This is all moving to the south and east, and will start to influence our weather as we get towards the latter part of the weekend. So it looks like most of Sunday is going to be pretty nice, and especially Saturday. Temperatures right now are generally in the 50s, a few 40s showing up like in Parsons with 44, 50 in Iola, 51 down in Jay, pick out your hometown, 57 degrees still at this hour over there for our friends in Cassville. Right now in Joplin, we're sitting at 51, east wind at 3, feels like 51, dew point's 26, so the humidity is 38%. In Pittsburgh right now, we're a little bit warmer, 53 degrees, east-northeast wind at 3, dew point's 29, so the humidity at 40%. So the forecast as we go into Sunday, we're going to start off mostly sunny in the morning, especially for the sunrise services. Then about noon, we'll start to see the clouds increasing from west to east, and we'll start to see the showers developing around Wichita and then moving into our western counties by 5 o'clock. And then as the evening wears on, those showers will start to move into our area, and then by Monday morning, we'll see scattered showers and storms across the area for your Monday. But breaking it down as far as the numbers go, Sunday morning, 41, kind of chilly, but mostly fair with east winds. And then in the afternoon, around noon, 61 degrees for the East Egg Hunt. And then as we head into the afternoon, 69 degrees with increasing clouds by 4 o'clock. Taking a look at the rainfall amounts, they're going to be on the light side on Sunday evening. And then as we move into Monday morning, that's when we'll start to see the showers really increase across our area. Some places could pick up around half an inch in some of the heavier showers. Most areas will be a little bit less than that. Lows tonight are going to be in the 30s and 40s with easterly winds. Then tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, beautiful conditions. A carbon copy of today, 66, a pretty popular number. Then as we go into Sunday morning, again in the morning for the sunrise services, mostly fair skies with lows in the 40s. And then as we head in the afternoon, we're going to see temperatures rising into the mid 60s, maybe even some lower 70s down to the south. A pretty nice Easter. Then showers move in Sunday night into Monday morning with lows in the 50s across the area. How about the next 7 days? Well, after we get past the showers on Sunday evening into Monday, then it turns nice and dry and a warming trend all the way through the week with temperatures getting close to 80 degrees now by Friday, and then another round of storms possible next weekend.
Some really nice temperatures in that
Absolutely.
forecast.
Chamber of Commerce weather continues.
Absolutely. Thanks, Sam. Still ahead, the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons competed in Fort Scott today at the Adam LaRoche tournament, and the Missouri Southern Lions look to even the series against rival Central Missouri. Highlights of that one coming up next.
The Missouri Southern Lions are hosting Central Missouri this weekend in one of the biggest matchups in the MIAA this season. Southern would lose last night's game, and they try to even the series up tonight. In Warner Turner Field, it's the Mules and the Lions. First place is on the line, starting at the top of the fifth. 1-0 Mules. Jack Shark hits that sharply to left field. Run comes in the score. It's 2-0 Central Missouri. Fast forward to the bottom of the seventh. 3-0 Central Missouri. Drew Davis, new ball game. See you later. 3-run homer ties up the game. It's 3-3. To the eighth inning now. Mules up 4-3. Isaiah Panny gets the RBI ground out. Mules extend their lead 5-3. Bottom of the ninth inning. Same score. Last chance for the Mules. Drew Davis at the plate representing the game-tying run. Not this time. Grounds out. Central Missouri wins the game 5-3. Mules win the series over Southern. Series finales tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pitt State Gorillas were on the road tonight in Claremore, Oklahoma, taking on Rogers State. Pitt State would win this high-scoring battle 14-10. The Gorillas have now evened the series after losing last night's game. Nixon Brannon went 4 for 5 with a home run and 4 RBIs. Cade Clemens was also 2 for 5. He also homered in this game. He also finishes with 4 RBIs as well. Pitt State will try to win the series finale tomorrow when their game starts at 1 p.m. Today was day 2 of the Adam LaRoche baseball tournament in Fort Scott. The Pittsburgh Purple Dragons played 2 games in Fort Scott today. First of those games was this afternoon against Ottawa. Purple Dragons are 2-1 coming into the tournament. Bottom of the first inning now. Jackson Turnbull will turn on this one. Line drive, RBI single. Purple Dragons strike first, 1-0 Pittsburgh. Still in the first, 2-0 Pittsburgh. Brant O'Doherty skies this one to right field. That ball's going to stay fair. Catches some grass. 2 runs are going to score. O'Doherty turns it into a 2-run double. Purple Dragons now lead 4-0. Pittsburgh would do all their damage in the first inning. Webb Fern took the mound for Pittsburgh, getting a strikeout in the third. Breaking ball is working well for him. Another one in the sixth. And a strikeout to end the game. Fern would pitch a complete game, striking out 5. He did not give up any earned runs. Pittsburgh was victorious, winning the ball game 5-2 over Ottawa. And the Kansas City Royals were off to a dreadful start this season. They started this season going 1-6 overall. Tonight was their first road game of the season, and their fortunes started to change. In the Bay Area tonight, Giants home opener, 2014 World Series rematch. Top of the second, no score. Nicky Lopez, RBI single off Alex Cobb. Tyler Isbell comes to score. It's 1-0 Kansas City. Fourth inning, tied ball game. Vinny Pasquantino, pass squatch. It's all over that one. Look out, Levi's Landing. Solo homer gives the Royals a 2-1 lead, and he'll gladly take the long trot. Eighth inning now, same score, Salvador Perez, and it is out of here. Gives the Royals a 3-1 lead. Now we'll head to the bottom of the ninth. Winning run at the plate. Scott Barlow catches Sabal looking for strike 3. Royals pick up the win, beating the Giants 3-1 in San Francisco. And the St. Louis Cardinals were on the road tonight, going against division rival Milwaukee. Cardinals get the shutout 4-0. Nolan Arenado has 2 hits in the game. Brewers pitching shut down the Cardinals. Not much going right for the Redbirds recently, losing their last 4 games.
Now, some of you have seen Brock Baldridge on KOAM previously. Some of you maybe not, but you should know he is a new addition to the sports team here. We're really glad to have you, Brock.
Well, thank you very much, Dow, and everyone's been very welcoming to me and welcomed me with open arms, so I've really appreciated it, and I can't wait to be a part of the 4 states for a couple of years.
It's good to have you here. We'll be right back. There are still several weeks to go before the NFL invades Kansas City for the 2023 draft. The wheels are already turning to get things ready, and residents are getting pumped up despite a few inconveniences. Nathan Vickers has that story.
As the NFL transforms the outside of Union Station for the world stage.
The anticipation is off the charts for sure.
Michael Tritt, the chief marketing officer for the historic landmark, says it's business as usual inside.
We are open for business, restaurants, retail, attractions, offices, and it's really critical that the public continue to come, enjoy the station as you always have.
Visitors are excited about what's coming too.
Draft is great to have it here.
It's kind of cool to have everyone in town. It's great for the hotels, restaurants.
But with more than 200 semi-trucks bringing in cranes, staging, and AV equipment, the access is different. The construction surprised many of the visitors today.
We had to do several circles to figure out where to park. It was really hard to get in here.
But in the end, Kansas City is proud to see the activity outside.
Kansas City is the place to be. It's much more than people think it is who consider this part of the country flyover.
And they're ready for the world stage.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the city, for Union Station, for all of us that occupy this Midtown area.
We have an update on that developing story out of Norman, Oklahoma, the OU campus. We're going to go to a live picture. This is, well, you can see perhaps in the distance, the oval, where there were some reports earlier of an active shooter. Authorities since changed that to possible shots fired, but they are asking the students there to avoid that area. And there have been some multiple reports of possibly some people injured, but we can't get that confirmed from law enforcement at this time. Of course, you can watch for further updates tomorrow on CBS and here on KOAM News. In the meantime, the weather tomorrow.
We have great weather. Tomorrow, we're going to have mostly sunny skies, temperature of 67. Showers late Sunday, but I think most of the Easter activities are going to be just fine. And then nice weather all next week, and then maybe some more storms next weekend.
And a final sports note.
Well, sometimes weather gets in the way of sports, and that was certainly the case at the Masters today. Some trees falling down at the 17th hole, so play will be resumed tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern time for the second round of the Masters, and we'll go on to the third day as well.
Fortunately, no one hurt.
Right.
Thanks for joining us. Let's make it a great holiday weekend.